What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Minecraft.
Uh, Hello YouTube. So, on today's video, if you want a brief summary and click off, that's fine. But on today's video, we are just going to be talking about the realm and what's happened on it. Because we're planning to release more videos, but school and life are slowing production. So, that might be a while, but we are planning on more. We're also planning on potentially having people who subscribe, especially first subscribers, they getting the realm code. And with the realm code, they would be able to join the realm and have access to the Discord, as it's the link to it in the description of the realm. And potentially, we're maybe thinking about opening up a separate Discord channel, maybe just for you guys, but that's in the future. What we do know for sure is that we're probably going to be offering, at least occasionally, people onto the realm for them to stay. Something with subscribers or like first viewers or something. But anyway, well, this is just going to be a quick-ish history of the realm. It's nearly 6,000 days old at this point, but it's just great. So, Yuzi, do you want to start us off with a very early history that you can recall?
Alright, so very early history. I remember joining. I don't even remember how far into the days played, but I remember starting a very small shack not far from spawn and dying multiple times to polar bears. Not only that, I also didn't do anything pretty much. And then I got to the hub and I pulled up to the secondary village that's like right next to the hub, and I established a house there.
Okay. And as none of you would pretty much know what we classify anything as now that I'm looking at it. So, we have our worlds basically split up into a bunch of areas. In general, the place where I live and where most of the activity goes on, it's called Zaystein. Don't ask me how to spell it, but
Also
well,
called the hub.
yes, it is also called the hub because he built a portal hub there for one of our mods, and it's one of the biggest centers of activity on the entire server. It is at roughly 973 negative 1023, which is a decent ways away from spawn. And how we got there was quite funny. We went in the complete opposite direction, trying to find a way across the frozen ocean when the server started, but inevitably just ended up going all the way back around. Found literally nothing until we found a small-ish village in between a valley of two large mountains/hills, and that's where we settled. And that's also when I decided I was gonna make a giant castle because I felt like it. And I was taking an and I was going to take an architecture class. So I'm like, hey, I might learn something from that. And overall, it's just been a slow, very slow progress on it. Uh, been like 2 years. Still procrastinating on that, but it's getting there. It's almost done. Just needs to be have a roof.
Yeah.
But slowly over time, it's grown and I've grown up the village. And why is there a sniffer in the potato patch? I don't want to know.
Sniffer likes eating potatoes, I guess. He's a very hungry boy.
Yeah, but I've slowly expanded the village. We got new people on because before YZ joined, it was really just me and my sister and the other first person on the server, which was
Mike or
uh,
Nick? Which one?
Nick.
Uh,
And he built an Amazon box shaped house. I asked him to make it not look as ugly, and the only thing he did was rounded the corners, and that was literally it. very slightly by removing the corner block to made it look quote unquote less ugly.
Yes.
And now it's just called Amazon Box. So we did eventually do something productive. Found the end portal. It just so happened to be underneath the village. Well, that's about the
Very.
time this goofy man joined. Zed, take it away.
So after I joined, I didn't really do much for a while actually, and then at some point I just started like actually doing stuff, and then around that time I had the idea of making a religion, which
Oh boy.
didn't work out very well due to the fact that we didn't have many people on the server. So there was that. And then also nobody really cared about the religion. So then there was that. So I
I
built
joined.
a big tree and then it got destroyed by lava.
And that was about the start of the first major server war. If you want, I'm suffocating gravel. If you wanted to know.
Right. The first major server war was between me and my brother because he didn't like my religion and he wanted to destroy it.
And how did that go?
Very successful for him actually because he destroyed my giant tree and then I was not about to go rebuild that stuff because it took a very long time to build and it was gonna be really hard to replace.
Okay. And how did the war go after that? As that is around the next 50 Minecraft days ish worth of server history.
Right after that, Cody and Noah joined.
No, just the part with you versus your brother
Oh,
before they joined.
just that part. Okay. After that, I acquired diamonds, and we all know what happens with diamonds. You can obtain obsidian, which is quite difficult to mine uh, with early
uh,
game equipment. So then some things happen that are not appropriate for YouTube. So
just to give a hint, it's a flower-y-ish shape, and it's also a religious symbol found in Buddhism that started appearing quite prevalent.
right,
Definitely not associated with anything else, just Buddhism.
yeah, totally.
And that
That's a
brings
good.
us to about the second phase of the first Great Server War, is there has not been a second, really. I mean, there kind of was, but it didn't last very long. But it was the Brookfield Central phase of the war.
Yes. Then the two dudes came on, and they, or rather, after some very short conversation with my brother, they eventually decided to team up and murder me, and like destroy the religion and stuff. And then I had Xavier on my side because he's pretty chill guy, and he likes the idea of war and all that good stuff. Um, so
Can't let the enemies find out about that.
for a short amount of time, we had some minor-ish quarrels, and we did some minor-ish murdering and major-ish robberies.
Well, you did those. I supported you financially.
But then eventually it got boring for them, and then they decided not to play anymore.
Well, they
They
moved away first. And then you robbed them again, and then they moved even further away, and then they'd left an ice trail. Straight to their base.
came
And then
from
they tried an assassination on me, which completely fucking fudged and failed.
And then after that, the snail trail or the assassination was pretty much a clear declaration of all-out war, which didn't end well for them.
No, they left after that one. That was the last. Cause they made occasional appearances, but they didn't really do anything because they all their investments are just gone at this point. Which brings me to a third topic. One of the other major players that was rising about this time was a guy known as Mike. Don't worry, there's only one other Mike so far, so I'll make sure to make that extra confusing for y'all later. So he's been growing over in his quote-unquote secret base. It's not really hidden, but you see he still hasn't found it yet very well. I mean, I had to bring him there one time, and he still can't find out where it is. And now it's pretty obvious, but the other time it was meant to be secret, and he's just been slowly doing his thing, getting rich by he's basically what you could kind of consider a redstone technical expert. He's really the only person that has lost enough sanity doing redstone to just not care anymore and just lose his mind doing it. So that's that. And he's been slowly working on this giant kelp farm, which you may see in the background, because this audio was recorded afterwards because I didn't really want to record audio that day. So we're just talking about it now. Anyways, this giant kelp farm has been trying to be built for the last year and a half, and he still hasn't done it, even though I've invested heavily into it. So we're going to see where this goes, because our server is very unique with observers. They don't like to work very well in flying machines, for whatever reason. They work fine with everything else, but when they get updated by Piston, they'll sometimes double fire, or not fire at all. It's a whole thing from lag reasons, probably. But he's caused so many problems with this dumb, stupid kelp farm that it's just kind of a thing now at this point. That this thing will never be completed. It's always a work in progress child. And to distract him from it, we've done other projects, like we worked on a mob farm that was stupidly over-designed and barely works. And I've also had some to do other redstone projects. He's worked on underground base, like completely hidden doors, which worked but not fully, so he kind of just recycled part of it for something else. And he's also built a pumpkin pie farm and all this other stuff. But he's just been kind of this redstone technical expert, but not really. But he is one of the richest people on the server at this point, anyways. And he's just kind of been with us the whole time, helping, especially with redstone. But in reality, just being there to goof around whenever we're bored or something. So that's Mike. That's his experience, I believe. If he's got something else to say, we might release a part 2 where he's on. But the other ding-dongs probably don't have much to say. Other interesting things a note. If you really want to think about it, where all the people live is basically just a rectangle. It's just a rectangle, except for Mike. He's got to be different. He's slightly outside the rectangle. But almost everybody who's active lives inside this rectangle. It's just from my village to Yeezy, the war-torn, double hockey sticks full of a village, all the way up to what used to be London. We'll get to that later, but it's abandoned now. And all the way to the Ocean Village, that way, that most of the girls live at. Because yes, there are females on the server, it isn't just all men. You could have seen her on the prior video, so go check that out. But anyways, this big box, which is basically just enclosing a plains biome, is where everybody developed because nobody wanted to go live in the frozen wastes of what we call Siberia, which is just spawn. And it's got this major river running through it. It's got the ocean not too far away. It's got some nice mountains to build on. And it's just really nice. But the problem is transportation across it at night was always a headache because of all the mobs and not everybody being super good at parkour. So it really just became a mess till I decided to start procrastinating on the castle some more by building infrastructure. And Yazid can tell you a little bit more about how that went.
Yeah, so the building of the castle has been a long process.
It's an underestimation with that one.
I've,
In fact, I'm doing another procrastination while we're on the castle while we're doing this video.
right. So we are actually currently procrastinating on the castle because literally nobody wants to pay, or literally nobody wants to build it. Xavier has been slowly paying people to build it,
And I've been
except
building
he
most of it myself. Most of it's self-built, but I'm
doesn't
out
even
of
want to pay,
gas.
like, not worth it or whatever.
I want to pay people below the wage laws, and it's just not working out, man.
There is no wage laws.
I know,
You
but
pay
there
them
should
with
be.
ass. I mean, buttocks.
Hey, I'll have to edit that out later. Bastard. Oh,
I would
I'm
never.
procrastinating on my procrastination now. God dang it. I forgot what I was doing because I was too busy talking. Anyway, continue, Zed. We're getting sidetracked on the sidetrack.
So anyway, yeah, we've got this big castle, which has been a continuous project, just like the kelp farm. And unlike the kelp farm, there isn't an actual genuine goal of being able to finish it. So that's nice.
Yeah.
But in our little hub, it is starting to get kind of built up and
laggy. Really laggy.
nice.
The kelp farm is
Very
running test runs.
Yeah. So a lot of redstone machinery here, which
Yeah,
is and also the portal. Our portal hub looks kind of like a witch hat. I designed it like that because I don't know, it looks nice.
It's kind of near Halloween, a little bit, and it just looked good. And I had crying obsidian. So, we got villagers. They're not open to the public yet because I am procrastinating on that as well. If you're not catching the mic, I'm not gonna spell it out for you.
I've already been trading with them actually.
Yeah, but they can't really steal the trades. Anyway, video.
I'm trading with them right now actually.
So, Izzy, do you want to talk about your house or what's underneath your house?
Yes. So my house, we at some point made a groundbreaking discovery of a lava pool under under our village, which with a little bit more digging led us to discovering a second massive lava pool along with a gigantic cave under the village. So after some exploring and lighting the place up and murdering
a lot of dying on your we had to add a whole mod because of how much this goober was dying down there.
So much swimming in lava.
Yeah, it was a mess.
anything
And a lot of that's why he's still around anyway. He's a lot of
the
still very
nine
dedicated.
hot column. So anyway, I named this place after the mine from Skyrim called Sidna Mine because nobody ever escaped Sidna Mine, and it's only been infiltrated once so far in its history, so that's nice. And in Sidna Mine, we have a very interesting attraction called Poor Man's Arena, which is a battle arena made entirely of dirt
On
and
Earth
is yes
for
made
people
entirely of dirt.
living.
Very good for iron armored fist fights with a mate.
Yes, it was only used a
Poor
couple
Man's
of times
is
before it got
where the
put on permanent
assassination.
hold. Yeah, and some unfortunate events went down there.
Yes.
It also appears like some goober is hoovered up on my rails. I should have put those away.
So after Poor Man's Arena and all that, we kind of realized that it's really hard to travel around this world, right? So that's why we established the hub and the portal mod. So so now we've got access to lands far away from
Very far,
home, very far, like
1,000 blocks
20,000
far.
miles. Yeah, we've got portals going all over the place, which is why we have the portal hub, and
It sounds
and
like
and
it's renamed to
that's
something
why there's
else.
so
We're not
much
going to talk
lag.
about something else that starts with a P.
What?
Yeah, like I said, we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you're wondering what you want to do on the server, it's whatever. Just follow the rules. When we eventually stop procrastinating on making them. Yazid.
If you don't follow the rules, I will come and smite you with my foot.
No, he'll just give you the location of your base open to everybody and say it's free stuff, and it will disappear. It will disappear so fast, man. The
Well, that
last
will
person
happen.
I did it with, his base disappeared in about 2 minutes. Like the entire thing.
Yep.
Just gone. Yeah, so that's been that, but anyways. After
Okay.
that first war, and a while after of goofing around and being just dumb, we eventually decided on getting some more people on, like actively trying, which led to us putting up posters, which attracted a couple people.
We printed out some posters at the school library, and we probably pissed off the librarian with the amount of ink we were using.
Oh yeah, that was a mistake, but it was a very good mistake.
Very good one.
Anyways, so we started putting posters around, and we eventually got a new group calling themselves the Londoners. They set up London. They're trying to form it into the United Kingdom, but then their ADH demons took over and turned it into the parkour civilization, which made all half like half of them leave.
Which is
And
why we have second Michael living in the castle walls of the maze.
that's a whole nother story for a different time. We don't need to talk about the intricacies of the castle and how that all came to be. That can be its own video, own like short video, like 5 minutes. But basically, that started a second short server war where I supported both sides. Yazid and the other Michael, who I just call Mike, even though he doesn't like it because I need to make sure it's extra confusing who we're talking to. Started a second war that lasted for quite a while, but not nearly as long as the other one. Eventually led to them going to go paint Warhammer minis while they're still on, and they still have a base. They just don't really get on too much because they're too busy painting Warhammer minifigures. If you're familiar with what that is,
So
so
you guys may see them in future videos, or you may not. Who knows?
I don't know.
It's a possibility.
Just like Nick, he might say he's done with Minecraft and then get on like 2 days afterwards. I don't know.
Yeah, Nick is he's probably stud. I don't know.
He's probably gonna get back on. You can't escape the craft. Anyways, so that's the majority of the server's history. There's some more intricacies, I'm sure, with people that I'm not as familiar with, like my karate friend Braylon, who lives decently far away in the isolated Isle of the Girls, who I don't really interact with too much. Mike may also have some stories for the reasons why he's up at like 3 in the morning working on Redstone for some ungodly reason. There might be some key stories with that. We also have Darth Vader, who got on for literally 1 day. So we just had Lord Knight Rick joined. Who that is? No idea. He's just
Pretty sure he's the one. He hasn't interacted with any of us physically.
No, he's interacted with me exactly once, where I just gave him a bunch of free stuff, and then he looked at me confused and logged off. That's the extent of our interactions. Oh yeah, I did kill him once for him not communicating. Anyway, so like those people that live in the middle of Siberia, I have no idea what they're up to. They're just there. You're just your regular old Siberian. Oh, and he's gone. You're just your regular old Siberian folk. I don't know what they're up to. I don't think they know what they're up to. They're just kind of on and off. I don't know. They don't interact with anybody else. They're just silent. They got like some social anxiety or something. I don't know. Anyway, that about wraps up server history. Unless there's any last things you want to touch upon, you see. We do have nether stuff and we've eaten the game.
I've got nothing YouTube friendly to touch up on.
Yes, there's a whole section of server history that's not YouTube friendly. Mainly from Yazid. Mainly during the war.
Yeah. Well, there is the doggening.
Yeah, we just bred 20 billion dogs and lagged the game really bad.
They're messing around with commands.
Oh yeah, Mike's horrendous attempt at command block was one of the early things, and then that kind of led into me goofing around with Easy with the teleport command, and eventually crashing the server so hard that I went back in time. That was really interesting. Yes, time traveling server. We also got the potato shrine. It's more related to the castle, so if you ever do want to visit for some local enchanting needs, go on ahead. But there's tons more to the server history, but this is meant to be brief. So I think that's where we call it quits. Bye, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe if you feel like it. I don't care. Just share this to as many people as you can. Bye.